Hello and welcome to the post-match review. This is going to be a series where I review most Stoke City matches, as well as some other miscellaneous matches thrown in as well. But today's match we're going to be reviewing is Stoke City versus Liverpool. So, as you all know, the match ended 1-0 to Liverpool. We may as well start with the goal. I think that's where we're going to start now. The goal from Philippe Coutinho is, in my eyes, an absolute stunner. It was unbelievable strike from Coutinho. I mean, there was no way that Butland was going to get anywhere near to that finish, because the quality of a player like Coutinho, he can just pop that out from nowhere. And I think that's what Liverpool were missing in the game. They were sort of, I think personally, Stoke were dominating the game up to that point, and it was sort of the last 5 minutes they needed something special, and that's exactly what Coutinho did for them. And I feel that Stoke were a little bit hard done to by that goal, but it was a fantastic goal nonetheless. And I think going into a few games in the future, I mean Stoke, because as you can see I am a Stoke fan, but I think we need that sort of player, someone who can bring that X factor that we need. Maybe it's going to be Bojan when he comes back, but I'm not sure. But I think we can all say that goal was an absolute stunner. In terms of the team performances, I'm going to start with Stoke. I feel that the team that Mark Hughes picked was a very strong team. We featured a lot of debutants in our team. I'm going to start with Glenn Johnson. I thought, for me personally, he was one of our best players on the pitch. Glenn Johnson, I feel, brought a lot of experience and composure to the Stoke side that we were lacking before last season. Jeff Cameron played there for most of last season, with a bit of Phil Bardsley coming in as well, but I feel that Glenn Johnson added that extra, I don't know, a bit of experience, as I said, a bit of composure as well. Going forward, he seemed very attacking, very positive, which is something I like from fullbacks. I felt that he had a brilliant game for us. Another player that made his debut today was Marco van Ginkel, the man on loan from Chelsea. He's never made in the Premier League appearance before, and I felt he handled the Premier League game very, very well in the centre of the park. I thought he was going to be a bit more defensive, to be honest, but going forward, he looks very professional and he's got great composure going forward, similar to Glenn Johnson as well. And I felt that even though his defending wasn't that great, we had players like Glenn Whelan, maybe even Charlie Adam in some parts of the game to cover him up and make sure, even if he did get forward, there was always someone there just in case there was a counter-attack started by Liverpool or something like that. But I felt going forward, he added to attacks really well, and I think he's going to be a great player for us in this season. And hopefully, if he does well and he plays a lot for us, and he plays really well for us, I think we're in with a good chance of getting him on a permanent deal. But I think even with only one game gone, I think he's going to be a good player for us this season. Now, the other debutant for us was Ibrahim Afellay. Now, everyone was a bit sceptical when Afellay came in. Everyone obviously was excited by him, but we weren't sure whether he was going to be the player to set the Premier League on fire for us. Now, from what I saw today, I think we saw glimpses of that. He didn't play his best ever game, but none of us were expecting any of the players to do that. I think we were expecting a tight game like it was today. But Afellay showed glimpses of what he can do. Glimpses of magic, like some of the flicks he was doing, some of the tricks and flicks. Like I said, they were fantastic. It's exactly what we need, and it gives a boost to the team as well. When they see a player doing something like that, it brings an air of positivity towards the team. And I feel that Afellay is going to be that sort of player. Unless we bring someone else in, someone like Shaqiri like that, I think Afellay is going to be our main man with Bojan and Arnautovic to provide that creativity, that spark of flair, and stuff like that. But I think Afellay could be a very good coup for us if he stays fit, because we all know that he's very injury prone. If you've ever used him on games like Football Manager or FIFA, he's very, very injury prone. And I feel that the reason why he didn't really hit it off the mark at Barcelona was because he was injured a lot, and this injury-prone nature towards him has sort of hindered his career. But I believe if he stays fit, he can do very, very well at Stoke, and he did show glimpses of that in the game. Now, we're going to move on to Liverpool. Now, I'm not going to talk about Liverpool as much as I do about Stoke in this, obviously, but I am going to talk a little bit about them. You obviously know that they gave debuts from the start to Joe Gomez and Christian Benteke. Now, Joe Gomez is someone I never really heard of, but I feel that in this game he had a lot of pressure on him to try and bring some quality into the team, because obviously he knocked out players like Alberto Moreno, who I would think, coming from the outside, I don't watch them every week, I would think that Moreno would be of a higher quality than Gomez, but from what I saw of him today, he seemed to handle, I don't know who he was up against, I think he was up against Jonathan Walters on that right-hand side, but I felt that he handled Walters very well, because personally, from a Stoke point of view, I didn't think Walters had his best game, but that's mainly because Gomez handled him very, very well. He had him in his pocket all game, pretty much. But I do feel that he could be quite an asset for Liverpool if they decide to play him in more matches. But I'm not really sure how Rodgers is going to see that. Whether he's going to play Moreno more, I'm not really that sure. Moving on to Benteke, I was a bit underwhelmed by him, because I was quite worried going into the game from a Stoke point of view, because I thought Benteke could hit the ground running at Liverpool and score a lot of goals. I did think he was going to score today as well, but I was quite underwhelmed by him. I didn't think he did that well. I felt that Jeff Cameron, the man who we put on him, I thought Jeff Cameron had him in his pocket all game. He didn't really threat too much. He didn't really feature too much. He won a lot in the air, but nothing really came of that. Those chances he was trying to create. But only time will tell with Benteke. We don't know what he's going to do in the coming games. I don't know whether he's going to be a hit for Liverpool or not. If you are a Liverpool fan, let me know what you thought about your team as well. Because obviously I'm not a fan of Liverpool, so I don't really have the most expert opinion on them. But if you've got any views with this, let me know down below about Liverpool and what you thought about them in the game today. Another debutant featured was Nathaniel Klein. I thought, similar to Gomez, he did very, very well, seemed to handle Afellay quite well, but I felt they were quite matched, and Afellay would beat him sometimes, and then sometimes Klein would win the ball easily. It was sort of an equal match between the two players, and I thought he did pretty well, and I think he's going to be a decent signing for Liverpool as well. Now, one of the main men for Liverpool that I thought were going to start was Roberto Firmino. Didn't make it into the starting 11. Came on from the bench with about 10 minutes to go. Now, I thought he massively changed the game for Liverpool. I thought he brought in some fresh legs, obviously, but he brought some quality, some flair, and a bit of skill into the team, and he took it round some players easily for the team. Players like Muniesa, players like that, where Jordan Ayew wasn't really doing that with Muniesa in the second half. But I felt that Firmino added that different. He had that different X factor for them. I think throughout the season he's going to be a really good player for Liverpool, and I think Liverpool fans should be really excited by Firmino from what I saw anyway. I think he's going to be a real coup for that team. The referee for the match was Anthony Taylor. Now, he obviously refereed the game at the end of last season where Stoke beat them 6-1. I'm not going to dwell too much in that. I know a lot of people, it doesn't really matter that much in this season as shown by the game just gone today. But I'm not Anthony Taylor's biggest fan. I feel that every time he's refereed a Stoke match, he's not had his best performance. Now, I do rate him as a referee, but in terms of when he refs against Stoke, he's not the best referee. Today was very similar. I felt that a lot of decisions were very, very harsh towards Stoke. I know I would say that because I'm slightly biased, but I think a lot of people would agree with me that a lot of the decisions he made were slightly, they were slightly harsh. Some of them were very, very wrong. I mean, a lot of Liverpool players could have come away from that game with bookings who didn't. I know there are a lot of shoves and stuff from like Benteke and things like that normally would come away with a booking, but I don't really know why. Some of his decisions that he overruled from his linesmen and things like that, I don't really understand why they happened. Like some of the corner decisions towards Stoke, we should have had corners and free kicks and things, but they were given by the linesman, but obviously not by the referee, which I don't understand why. I felt that a lot of decisions towards Liverpool some of them weren't given. I feel that, like I said, this might be me being a slightly bit biased, but I feel that Liverpool got a slightly easier time. I don't really know why, as I've said before, but both teams had their equal fair share of cards and things, which luckily most of these things that I'm going on about happened in the first half as the game was starting to get going, but as the game moved into the second half, it did start to even out, so he did start to have a better performance going into the second half, and I don't think he had the worst performance ever. He just didn't have a great performance from a Stoke point of view, but we're going to see how the referees do over the season, because obviously it's only the first weekend. We've seen poor refereeing performances this weekend, especially in games like Norwich. That game had some very poor refereeing decisions, but obviously the refs have got all season to try and improve and things like that, so we don't actually know how the refs are going to do this season. Whether they're going to be as poor as last season, who knows, but it's only been the first weekend, so we can hope that the referees are going to improve. So now it's time to go into who I thought were the star men for both teams. So we're going to start with Stoke. I personally thought the star man for Stoke City today was Glenn Johnson, because I feel that Glenn Johnson brought a sense of experience and composure to the team that we were lacking in the past couple of seasons. We haven't really had a really experienced head to calm the defence down and just ease the ball out of defence into the midfielders who can go and attack with the ball. But I feel that Glenn Johnson did that in this game. He had a lot of the chances going forward as well. He could have had 2 goals today, which could have changed the game massively. But I feel that Glenn Johnson, on his debut as well, he tried to, he had a lot of time to impress the fans throughout pre-season. Didn't really do that, but he came into this game. We were a bit sceptical when he was named in the right back position, but I feel that he did himself justice. I feel that he showed himself as a calm, experienced head at the back, and I feel that throughout this season, I think he's going to be a great asset for Stoke. And to get him on a free transfer, I think is a great deal for us. Like when he first came in, I was like, I don't really rate him that much after his 2 bad seasons at Liverpool. Well, this season and the season before that, he hadn't really had the best of seasons at Liverpool. But I feel in this match, he showed himself as a good attacking presence, but going defensively as well. He was great, experienced, calm, had a lot of composure. So that's why he's going to be my Stoke City man of the match. Now for Liverpool, I think there's only one man you can really give it to for Liverpool. That's got to be Philippe Coutinho. Throughout the match, he was Liverpool's only threat, I would say. Benteke didn't really provide anything. Lallana was even worse. I really think Lallana, every time he's come to the Britannia Stadium, even with Southampton, he's done nothing. I haven't really seen him do anything for Liverpool. So I think, especially with the goal, because that got Liverpool out of jail, that gave him, well, he provided his X factor. He did his best, and I think Coutinho, could be another pivotal season for him. I think he will be one of the main men for Liverpool this season again, mainly because of this game. I think this will give him that spark to go on this season and be a real world beater for Liverpool. But I think in this game, he was my man of the match. So where does this leave both teams going into next weekend? Stoke go to White Hart Lane, to Tottenham away. Now, that's going to be a very tough fixture for us again. We've got quite a tough start to the season. We go to Tottenham next weekend, and then the week after we go to Norwich away. So they're both tough games. But I think against Tottenham, going away, we'll have a bit more freedom to go and attack, because I think at home we were trying too hard to impress the fans, especially after the great season we've had the past 2 seasons. I think we were trying too hard to impress the fans. We just sort of fell short. We didn't really have that quality in the final third to go on and win the game today, because Liverpool sort of just shut us down. But I think going into Tottenham, if we can get players like Bojan to try and get him onto the bench, just to try and ease him back into the team, try and bring him on with 10 minutes to go, say, hopefully that will give us some quality in the final third. We need to try players as well like Joselu, who didn't make it on today, players like Peter Crouch, both target men who I thought should have come on today to give us that sort of, it's a different style of play when we needed it. We needed a tall figure in the box just to try and lump it up to them and hold the ball up a bit. For players like Juve and Afellay, we needed a Crouch or a Joselu just to try and give something different. So hopefully Mark Hughes gives either one of them the nod to go and play against Tottenham and try and give us something different in that game. For Liverpool, I think in the next couple of games they need to start. I think they're at home again. Yeah, I presume they're at home. I don't know who they're against. I probably should have looked that up before, but I don't know. I'll shove that in post edit. I don't know who they're against, but I think if they can carry on the way they are, especially I think this win will give them a bit of confidence to go into the next game and try and go on a little run, a little winning streak. And I think I reckon they will get some good results after this fixture, especially after this win. So yeah, I think Liverpool are looking positive going into the next couple of games, as well as Stoke. I think if we change our style of play, try something different against Tottenham with some target men, I think we can try and get a positive result. But who knows, that's the Premier League. You never know, really, but I'm hoping for something positive, and I think for Liverpool, they'll also get something positive in the next few weeks. That was my post-match review of Stoke City versus Liverpool. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this different sort of video, because this is going to be a new series starting on my channel. This is going to be the first episode of that. I'm going to try and do mostly Stoke games, but I will be adding in a few miscellaneous games as well. So don't worry if you're not a Stoke fan, you want to hear me review different games. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to hear me review any games that you want to hear me talk about, stuff like that. Let me know. If you've got any comments about any of the things I reviewed about the game, let me know in the comments down below as well. If you're a Liverpool fan, how do you think you played today? Let me know, because I'd be interested to think whether what other people think, because obviously I don't watch Liverpool every week, so let me know whether that was a good or bad performance for you guys. Also, if any Stoke fans, let me know if you agree with my views about our team, or if you disagree or anything. Let me know in the comments down below. So if you did enjoy the video, guys, leave a like down below, because that'll help me out a lot, and it'll show me that you're really enjoying the content. Also, if you are new and you do enjoy the content, you haven't done so already, be sure to hit the big subscribe button down below, because that'll help me out a lot as well. So until next time, guys, see you then.